Welcome to Trump Teachings. This session is favorable trading with your friendly Shaman. This is the class which I think demonstrates favorable trading the most, primarily because they have Flame Tongue Totem, which is the big unit which allows for a lot of bonus math, and there's a Shattered Sun Cleric in here, and you can always favorably trade with the Rock Biter and the Hex. So what I have here is the basic deck. As you level up at level 4, you can get rid of the Elven Archer and the River Crocodilus, add in the very, very important Flame Tongue Totem. And favorable trading also means using your hero ability and the Flame Tongue Totems to get some really good exchanges in. Hopefully that gets demonstrated. And at level 10, you unlock one of the best cards in the game, Fire Elemental. So get rid of a Stormwind Knight and Darkscale Healer, add those in, and a nice smooth deck. Let's go for it. Alright, a Shaman versus Shaman match. I'm cautiously optimistic that this will be a good matchup to showcase favorable trading. As a standard in early game, I keep a good curve. I drew into a 2-3-4. I can even do a coin on one of these to move it forward quicker.
Greetings, friend.
And in this case, since I drew another 2, I will. So I can play on curve for quite some time, and I can save the ooze for possibly a Stormforged Axe. The art of favorably trading holds a lot of similarity to board control, where you simply want your minions which are on the board to keep doing more for you. In this case, for example, you can go for the face, but you can kill this totem. The totem is not going to attack back for any damage, you control the board, and already the Bloodfin Raptor provides some amount of value by killing something, even if it's just a totem. On a most strict definition, like, favorable trading would be something like your 3-2 goes into something, and then... Okay, so the Harvest Golem, that's a really good example of a card which often favorably trades. In this case, if I were to do board control, then I would send the Bloodfin Raptor into this Golem, and then would summon a 2-1 damage Golem, and then this goes into the 2-1, and then I'll use both of my Bloodfin Raptors for his Harvest Golem. That's an example of how not to play, and how favorable trading would be really awful. So I'm going to avoid that exchange. So I play the Razorfin Hunter, which will get a 1-1, which will more favorably trade with the 2-1. This creates a counterplay where you can use the Harvest Golem to kill my 1-1, or you can simply Lightning Storm. A very favorable exchange for him, because he used his 1 card in order to get rid of all my cards, basically. However, this Earthshock is a poor play on the 2-1, because he can use the 2-3 to hit my 2-1, save the Earthshock for something more important. Even this is an example of a favorable trade. He's using a 3-mana card when he only had 3 mana to deal with my 4-mana card. Yes, he gets overloaded too, so I guess it's not that favorable. It's kind of an even. It's a wash. So I had 1 mana left over. I could play the Rockbiter weapon and kill the Harvest Golem, but that wouldn't really be worth it, because it would still create a 2-1, and if I had, he would just play his Rockbiter weapon on his 2-1, and then send his 5-1 into my 3-5, and that would be a very favorable exchange for him, which is a play that I want to try to avoid. Senjin Shieldmaster right now, if I play the Rockbiter on one of his 2-3s, gets to be at its best against his board, since his 2-3 and his 2-1 only add up to 4 damage, so my 5 health can take out both of these cards potentially if he doesn't have anything. Favorable trading often requires looking ahead and then seeing how the board will develop. It comes into play a lot when you're deciding what to attack. What you need to do is consider, like, if I make this set of plays, what is the opponent going to do the next turn? He's played the Flame Tongue Totem, which is a really good example of favorable trading. However, in this case, it's not that great for him because he basically uses 8 damage to kill my 5 health guy. It's also a mistake not to have attacked with his Spirit Wolf into my guy, because I can always do the same thing back. He might be thinking, oh, he also just forgot to attack with this. But He probably should have considered attacking this, because I can always make the same attack, or if he wants to attack my face, that's fine too. But if he does that, I might have something like a Rockbiter weapon and hit this and then kill his Flame Tongue Totem for free. My 3-1 into his 4-3 is a good exchange. Ideally, I'd want to hit his 0-3, but I can't.
I wonder.
Another way of favorably trading is to make use of your cards the best way they can possibly be used. In this case, I'm not going to play my Acidic Swamp Ooze because it... No, I will play it because he only has one Loot Hoarder out, and if I play this and the Frostwolf Warlord, I have more stuff on the board to be able to deal with this totem. Being able to kill this for free would be a very big favorable exchange for me, if I'm allowed to do so. The opponent's goal right now is to remove the threats on my board, so that he can keep his Flame Tongue Totem out, so that he can continue to get more favorable exchanges. With this totem out, he can get his Nerubian Egg to attack, he can get his totems to attack. It's one of the key factors of favorably exchanging. Here, I'm going to attack, and this guy will survive the attack. Very good. I get to kill this totem for free. I get to kill this perfectly with 3 damage. I get to make a totem. It's all very nice and good. The Stormwind Champion the next turn is going to boost all of my guys to be able to, I'm going to anticipate, favorably trade with anything that he plays. Yes, even that I like here. Okay, let's actually look at how that play was. It's hard to say whether or not that was wrong, because he may have not had any Nerubian Egg activators. But one thing he can do, could have done instead, is play the Rockbiter weapon on his Alec here. That would create a 6-5 Alec here. Then he uses his 6-5 Alec here in order to kill this 6-5 Fire Elemental while it has Divine Shield on. That's the most optimal use of Alec here, and the most optimal use of Divine Shield, to kill something big while taking no damage. After that, he can decide to kill any of my other guys, perhaps the Acidic Swamp Ooze then, leaving my board with just the Searing Totem, and then he would have a 3-2 still. Instead, the board situation is such that he has a 4-4 and a 3-2, and I'm going to be able to favorably trade against Alec here by playing Stormwind Champion, and then using my innocent-looking totem, which is not normally worth a card, but has just slain a legendary, and I'm going to protect this very important Stormwind Champion by trading this off. Then I can get the most out of my cards with the Murloc Tidehunter. Small cards like this get boosted a lot with cards like Stormwind Champion and Flame Tongue Totem, since they're very weak on their own, but every buff they get increases their power by so much. This card is now so powerful that he has to use an entire card in order to deal with half of my card. Even something like Gnomish Inventor is a good example of favorable trading, because when it comes into play, it draws a card. So as long as you manage to 1-for-1 with this card, then you're getting a favorable exchange on this. Note that I played a totem instead of playing Fire Elemental and hitting his face, because this can also get a favorable exchange by coming into play and dealing 3 damage to one of his minions. If I can do that, then the Fire Elemental will have already killed something before it even does anything, and oftentimes I will try to save this. So that's 11 damage I have, so I'm going to actually use this to kill this. One possible play I could do is kill this and then send everything at the face, but even better than that is I'm going to fight for board control, make sure to eliminate everything, give him no chance to come back. And when you're ahead on the board, you can just keep summoning totems, and that's one of the Shaman's special abilities to keep going further, since your totems with Flame Tongues and with Stormwind Champions can favorably trade against a lot of his stuff, and it's all good. Alright, and this is what a standard Shaman deck might evolve into, and the Shaman playstyle, when put in tournaments, well, there's a few different playstyles. This one's the more streamlined not entirely to the face version. You see some versions with 2 Doomhammers and Rockbiters, but this one is pretty standard. It actually, the Shaman playstyle is very much trying to get the most out of your cards, and due to not having many card draw mechanics, you need to do several favorable exchanges, but you are able to do so with cards like Flame Tongue Totem, and then you play a lot of totems, and then you use your totems to trade with their cards. Most of these cards, 1 mana, deal 3 damage, can kill cards which cost 2 mana or even 3 mana. The Earthshock can kill potentially Twilight Drakes, which are 4 mana, really big cards sometimes. You've got Hexes, which can 1-for-1 for really big cards. And then once you gain that type of advantage, you finish them off with just drawing a lot of cards with Mana Tide Totem. That's gaining an advantage also. Leave it on the board, defend it. You've got Azure Drakes, which are really easy to favorably trade with since you play it, and then you're probably 1-for-1 against something else. Fire Elemental, really strong. Tends to kill a guy when it enters play, or wound a guy, and then kill another guy, maybe even kill 2 guys. Alakir usually kills the opponent, or kills 2 guys. So, practice some good favorable trading with this deck.